Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be checking out yesterday's Driving Empire update. I'm late again, like last week. And this video is probably going to be out by Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. I have no idea when. It's just going to be out. But anyways, we got Toyota yesterday, so we're going to go ahead and review all the cars, and we did get some other things. So before we go to the cars, let's go ahead and showcased one of what happened. And by the way, we'll talk about this thing in a minute. But anyways, we're just gonna pick a random car and just drive over here. So we're gonna dump the car. So last week, I had a huge complaint that we basically barely had any money. But I mean, look at these insane glow ups. Look at that. And now you can actually now select between global multiplayer. Now the pay is still not great if you just play like multiplayer and stuff. It's still not as good as it was before. But if you go global, you can actually see that you get even more than you used to. So instead of 30K, you now get 59, which is really good. Which if playing globally, this is technically one of the best paying races. As you can see, 93 grand. You still get 30. That's not bad, but I mean, look at these pay. 93 and then 30. Honestly, all this pay is not that bad. Pretty good. And let's go here to Drawbridge. You can see 47K for a race that only takes like a minute. Pretty good. And then highway, there's no way that it pays you 22 grand, bro. All this is crazy. And, you get 5K for one drag race. So if you do so I highly suggest you go and do multiplayer, global multiplayer, because it's gonna pay quite a bit. Alright, enough yapping, let's get onto the car. So we'll just get onto the one that we already showcased. So this is the final generation Toyota Celica. They call it, this one is the GTS 6-speed. I guess it's a auto. Hold on, let's go ahead and we can see if it's auto or not. I don't know if it's auto or not. It's a 6-speed. I assume it's a manual. I cannot tell if there is a... Yep, it is definitely a manual. There are like 3 pedals there. So... Well, anyways, is this thing is really ugly. I mean, we could have gotten any other Celica other than this. We could have got the 72 Celica, which looks like a muscle car, or which is pretty sweet. Or we could have gotten uh uh the 1994 generation, the one that was in WRC with the quad headlights. That would have been better too. Instead, we had to get at this tragedy. This looks so hideous, bro. Like, even if you spec it out, it's not gonna save it. I mean, good news for anyone who hates, good news for people that are broke, I guess. If you think this piece of atrociousness looks good, you can pay a nice crispy price of 20 grand. But even then, I don't think it's worth it. It is not good looking at all. It looks kind of ugly, and yeah, it just looks like a hot piece of garbage. Yeah, um, yeah. Like I said, just save your time. That one is not worth it. We did get a couple new collection cars, and we're gonna favorite all the ones we did get. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get this one, so I'll just go ahead and buy it because I love this car, so we're gonna go ahead and buy it on camera. I really like this. So this is the Toyota GR86. Let's go ahead and throw on a spec for it real fast, and then we'll go ahead and test it out and spec against us. So This is the only car I didn't get because it's the only car that's not required for the collections, and it's a pretty nice car. Honestly, I would have preferred a GR Corolla because, in case you guys didn't know, the GR Corolla is just a go. No glaze, bro. I just love the GR Corolla, bro. I want one for free, bro. Well, if there's anyone rich out there that's willing to give me a GR Corolla, give me any car that's like under like 40 grand, give me a GR Corolla. I just need one. It's like required. I know the GR Corolla is still just a freaking Toyota Corolla, but it's a Corolla on steroids. Yeah, can't beat that. Okay, so this thing definitely looks a lot better than it was stock, and we'll just go black wheels on this because it looks good. And just like that, we are almost done specking out this little thing. This thing's a really nice driver's car real life. It's pretty reliable too, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. You can be anyone who actually knows reliability can be the judge of that in the comments, but we're gonna just do a nice red, and then on the outside, ooh. Ooh, I'm feeling white. I'm feeling white. I like the white. Okay. Alright, we are definitely gonna do white on this car. It looks really basic, but it looks nice and crisp. Very nice and crisp. Um, this definitely looks, this looks really nice, and we're gonna go ahead and throw on a Florida license plate because that's where I want to live. Not telling you guys where I actually live. And we are done with the spec. Tell me what you think in the comments, but for now, let's just keep going and we'll add all-wheel drive for it since I have money to spend, as you can see in the bottom corner. So yeah, honestly, pretty good purchase. This is definitely one I will be keeping for the collection. It's really cool. It's a cool little car. So let's go ahead and spawn it out right here. And we're not selling it. It is really cool. All right. We're gonna do a sound test on this car because we're gonna do sound tests on every car except that stupid Celica because I swear, here, unless you are broke in the in game, you definitely do not need to be driving around on a crusty Toyota Celica that no one asked for and no one loves. So we're gonna go ahead and do a sound test and tell me how you think it sounds. Alright, so in my opinion, this car does not sound bad, but it's not, but it's just alright. It's not the best in the world, but it's not that bad either. Honestly, I'll just give it like a solid like maybe like 6 out of 10. It's not terrible or not or good, so don't expect it to be the best sounding car in the world. So, alrighties, alright? We're gonna go in order from my absolute least favorite to my absolute favorite. I will save my very favorite for the end. You guys can guess what it is while you're at it. Alright, so here is one of my not favorite ones, but in my opinion it's cool. So this is well, it says in game it's a 1992 Toyota Supra, but this is actually a 1982 or I believe it's a either a 1982 or 1972. I don't know if they a soup. I don't think this isn't the Celica Supra. There was a Celica in the 70s called, which was a Celica Supra, but I don't think this is a Celica Supra. I don't know. Oh, it's definitely not a 92 because I don't know, man. I don't, because I think these got discontinued like 19, like late 80s, early 90s. I don't know if this is the correct year. I don't know. Uh, if you feel like it, research, feel free to let me know if I'm right or. But this is, we'll just call it an 82 Supra because it looks very 80s with that pop-up. Oops, but yeah, this one's pretty cool. I like this car. Um, Definitely a Supra no one, not a lot of people talk about. Oh, because the only Supras people talk about are the Mark II. I mean the Mark IV, obviously. I mean no one's stupid enough to hate it, obviously. Except freaking grown adults who don't know I don't know how to let kids be kids and uh the Mark V, obviously, of course. There's yeah, a lot of people don't like it because of it's a BMW, but I mean, oh my God, little kids are just little kids. Like, just get past that. And honestly, I've gone past it being a BMW like a long time ago. Well, not long a time ago. Low-key never even knew it was on a BMW chassis until like, I don't know, a month later after the car came out. Honestly, don't get what the hate is all about. But anyways, yeah, this one's a pretty nice one. Kind of underrated, but it's a pretty cool one. Let's go ahead and check out. Oh, we'll check it. All these prices out. After we're done showcasing them. Let's actually go ahead and do a sound test because I completely forgot to do that. So we're gonna park this little thing right here. Here, all right, let's break, and we're gonna go ahead and take a sound test or sound listen, and then I will catch you guys in a minute. So that was the 1982 Super for you. That's, in my opinion, that was a pretty nice sounding car. And I don't know if you guys heard it, but when it starts up, it actually makes a little ding, like you would like an actual Toyota would. I can confirm this because my dad has an old 4Runner, and it has a ding whenever you try to start it up. So. Yeah, that's pretty cool, honestly. I like that detail, and this one's very underrated. If you want to hear that ding, you might want to replay that, but I opened the door and did the test for a bit more seconds so you guys could hear. Anyways, enough of that. Let's move on to the next car, which is going to be the 1985 Toyota Corolla AE86, or the AE86 Sprinter Truno, as I like to call it, preferably. I don't know, you can call it whatever you want, but obviously very famous anime car because obviously it was featured in Initial D. Very popular car anime for car enthusiasts and anime lovers alike. Very cool. Really like it. Yeah, I love its like little compact look and stuff. If it's very nice and subtle, nothing too crazy, obviously. Yeah, and obviously the actual Drift King himself, he used this thing quite a bit. So it's also kind of historical in car culture. Er, so yeah, pretty. cool car all around for enthusiasts alike. Pretty nice. It's kind of just a little. It's just a little. I don't know. Easygoing car, you know. Oh, with I don't know, a lot of fame. So yeah, all right. Let's go ahead and do a sound test, and conveniently right in the spot where you start off, which is pretty cool. And by the way, these Toyotas do not have that good acceleration, even though I have all of them upgraded. But I mean, then again, Toyotas are not supposed to be rocket ships. They're not supposed to be like your average Joe's Corolla is not supposed to be your average rich British dude's McLaren P1 going 0 to 60 in like 0.2 seconds. But let's go and do a sound test for the AMA6 Sprinter 2. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about the sound. In my opinion, this car sounds pretty nice. These those pops make it sound like it's farting, which is kind of funny. Yeah, but honestly, it sounds pretty nice actually. Hey, you gotta give credit where it's due, and of course you cannot hate those pop-up headlights. They're super satisfying to roll. Honestly, I wish Driving Empire made a feature where like you can like e- make the headlights wink, which would be kind of cool, but I don't think Driving Empire's, no offense, that skilled to do that stuff. But not a bad car by any means. Alright, next car. I might get a lot of hate in the comments for putting this kind of low. But next is the Supra. The car that what the heck? We're gonna go ahead and change this suspension because it's not supposed to look like a monster truck. Why on earth is hello? Why is my Supra standing like this? Why is it standing? We don't even talk about why the car is even sitting like this. It looks actually mentally stupid. I don't know what's happening with it. So we're just gonna pretend we did not see anything here. Cause why? What is happening to this thing? I don't know. Okay, we changed it, and the suspension's hideous on it. I don't know what happened to it, but whatever the devs did, they messed up the suspension like really badly. It looks like a freaking monster rally car, and I want my Supra slammed to the ground. And there's no body kits though, so you can't hide that hideous his freaking wheel gap, which sucks. So yeah, that kind of sucks. But anyways, this thing's not. This thing's pretty good. It hits 200 miles an hour kind of easily, so not bad. All right, we'll go ahead and go to the dealership, and then we're gonna go ahead and go to where we usually go before we do a sound test, and we're gonna go ahead and do a sound test for this bad boy, and then we will move on to the next car after this. So that was the sound for it. It's definitely comparable to how the R33 sounds a game, because obviously both of these are 90s classics mix, but honestly, this one definitely has the more I would say recognizable sound, because obviously I think we all know how much 15 5-year-old kids love hearing this go brap brap go strrr. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You kind of get what I'm saying. And 5-year-old kids just love supers making crazy sounds like freaking AK-47 sounds and other BS like that. I mean, you can't blame them. They're 5 years old. Alrighties. Um, so next up we have the normals GR Supra. Uh, okay. Um, so this one's pretty nice, honest. This one's pretty nice. Like I said, got a lot of hate for, I don't know, being a quote, a BMW. I think people are just stupid and they are just freaking, I don't know, hating on Toyota. I mean, honestly, it could have been worse. They could have, I don't know, made a Supra off a, what could they have made a Supra off of? They could have made a Supra off of, I don't know, a Fiat, bro. They could have done that, and because I don't know, well, since Toyota aren't exactly special ed, they actually know how to make a good sports car, even though they used a BMW. But BMW's already a good sports car, so why not just us build our new Supra off of it? So there's nothing to complain about being bad. It's just freaking, I don't know, retarded 50-year-old men and that remember the old Supra and they're just retarded. They don't know what life is. Okay, let's do a sound test for this and then we will move on to the last two cars, which are the collection cars of the update. There were two collection cars. We will get to those in a minute, but let's do a sound test for this and then we will get to the collection cars. Alright, so in my opinion, these things, they sound very nice. I can't lie to you. They sound pretty decent. They sound kind of funky, but it's not funky funky. It's not it's a pretty good sound. Not the best thing in the world, but it's not that great either. So it's like in the middle. Anyways, so we're going to check out um the collection. So hold on. So here's all of them. So we're gonna check out the 2000 GT first because that's cool. So in order to complete this collection, you need the GR Soup, the normal GR Supra, the 82 Supra or 92. It's called 92, but it's 82. I'm pretty sure I went over this at the beginning of the video. N- Um, the Mark IV Supra, the Corolla EA6, and or um the Sprinter, whatever, and then you need the hideous Celica. And you get this absolute beauty, the 1967 Toyota 2000 GT. Now, in case some of you non-gearheads are wondering what the heck this thing is, basically on it was partnership between Toyota and Yamaha. Great sports car, outperformed stuff that came out during its era, like the 911, and it was loved, but it wasn't exactly a huge hit because Toyota's known for making like reliable vehicles, such as the Corolla and stuff, you know. So this was kind of a shot out of left field, old type stuff basically, but it's very cool. And this is the reason why the LFA was even a thing. If it wasn't for this, we don't have the LFA, and this thing is just absolutely beautiful. Now, the only criticism I have with this thing is that A, it's pretty slow, even though it's supposed to be kind of fast for being, even though it's a classic car. And secondly, there are pop-up headlights, but they don't look that good. That's how they look. They don't look good. I will say that, but once you kind of get used to it, it's not terrible looking. In my opinion, it doesn't look terrible because I'm kind I'm kind of used to how it looks with the headlights. But yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and just do a sound test here because I don't feel like you know what? Since yeah, we'll just go ahead and just drive there. But in my opinion, this one's a pretty solid collection. It's pretty cheap, and this is the most expensive Toyota in game. Even theoretically, it's worth a price of $900,000, and I don't know how much the entire collection in cost, but I would probably estimate maybe around. So all the Toyotas, other than this and other than the collection cars. There's the most expensive one being the regular GR Super at 150,000 and yeah, some of these are around the $100,000 mark, $100,000 plus, and some of them are under that price point. So I would say you'd probably need around 700K to get the entire collection. This one at least, but it's not a bad collection. It's pretty good. Let's go ahead and do a sound test on this beauty, and then we'll move on to probably the best car of the update. Alrighty, so in my opinion, this thing actually sounds pretty nice. I can't lie, sounds pretty sweet. Um, yeah, it's definitely like a LFA. Sounds pretty good. Obviously, this is in game, so this might not sound this good in real life, but it's something, to behold. And the last car, which is in my opinion the best one, is going to be the Toyota GR Supra open top concept. Now, this thing is really cool because one, this thing just like the minute you look at it, the first thing you'll think, especially in this orange colorway, it literally just reminds you of Hans Mark V Supra from F9, and obviously, yeah, Paul Walker's Supra from the first movie, obviously, because like it's kind of modified and stuff with like that back and stuff. And even though this is supposed to be looking like a stock Mark IV spoiler, I mean, it's the aesthetics all around definitely make it a little aggressive, kind of like the Fast and Furious Supras, which is a pretty nice touch. And in case you guys didn't know, this is probably and this thing also has a target top like the Mark IV because the Mark IV does have that option. Unfortunately, the Mark IV we have in game does not have the removable top, target top, which kind of sucks, but you know what? It's all right. It's fine. We have this thing at least. But yeah, this is pretty cool, and this is our third concept car we have in game, I believe. which is pretty cool. And it's definitely the cheapest concept car or by far. Our other two concept cars, which I'll just show fast, is the Devil 16. Let's go ahead and go into dealer and find it. But the Devil 16 is a concept car because just because there are V8 versions doesn't mean this thing actually exists because an in-game version has a V16 and this doesn't, and the actual examples do not have a V16, so the V16 is technically a concept car. So that is basically a concept. Don't judge me in the comments. And we also have the Jaguar CX-75. Eva, this one I really wish was made because, I mean, classic, I mean, it's just like everything that Jaguar ever could have gotten right. But instead, they had to make a Roblox ass looking car that literally no one even loves at all. All. And before we get to the Toyota, there is one other one, which is the Apollo Aero. But I did some research on it a while ago because I never heard of the car up until I started playing Driving Empire. So I did a research a little while back, and it said, and from what I remember, it said that it was an actual car with 100 units made. So technically, it is not. So it is not a concept car, honestly. Now the CX-75, there were six versions made, but they had a four-cylinder, and the V8 was just a one. And the one we have in game has a V8, and that one was only made for a James Bond movie as a stunt car. So, oh, that's technically a concept car. And the Dell 16, just because there's a V8, there is some versions, but they do not have the V16 engines. So, anyways, yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and do a sound test on it, and then we'll go ahead and go over the prices. Cars. And by the way, in order to get this one, all you need is the Mark III, Mark IV, and Mark V Supras, and you should be good to go. This is one of the cheaper collections, and in my opinion, this is definitely one to have because this is definitely the best car out of every Toyota. In my opinion, um, they really killed it with the Mark Fives. Especially this one. This one was definitely not what I was expecting, and I never even heard of this concept up until, it came out, Driving Empire. So this is pretty cool. It definitely helped me learn a lot about this thing, which is pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and do a sound test, and then we'll check prices. In my opinion, beautiful sounding car, and the looks of it's just absolutely amazing. Like I said, you can definitely see some elements of the Mark IV Supra, um, and actually, one other thing I forgot to mention, and these two center pipes that are exhaust pipes that are both these dual pipes actually kind of resembles the Toyota 2000 GT, which I just noticed, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this one is definitely a cool tribute to like a lot of like Toyotas. As like you can see elements of the Fast and Furious Mark IV because the wheels they look very similar, and these are pretty sure they're like custom one-off, which is kind of cool. And then as you can see, this thing has like a bit of a large splitter, obviously a spoiler, even though this is not like a big wing. It's definitely giving Fast and Furious Mark 4 Super Vibes. Obviously, that diffuser basically says the same aim, but yeah. Overall, this entire update, I would definitely. This was definitely way better than last week. Last week was probably like a 6 out of 10 at most. This one I'm probably gonna give like an 8.5 to a 9. You know, I'll probably just give it an 8.5 just to avoid controversy. But in my opinion, Driving Empire, they definitely killed it with this update. It was pretty good. Cars were very nice. Nothing too controversial. So yeah, pretty good one. And by the way, you know what? Never mind. All right, so obviously this piece of crap was 20K. Um, next up, um, let's go back. This thing is 55K. A little bit expensive, but and and the GR Supra was 120K. Not terrible, not terrible. The GR86 was 45 grand. The Mark IV Supra was 80 grand. And the last car that was on sale we got was the Supra Turbo, which is 65K. So, yeah, definitely a solid update, in my opinion. Um, Um, yeah, like I said, Driving Empire, they definitely did it right with this one because that update with that Lotus last week was really not cutting it, and obviously the 23rd we had Spiker, and I am not a fan of Spiker at all. In my opinion, they're just rip-off Paganis with Audi internals because they use Audi engines. But anyways, I think that's going to be enough yapping for today. Tell me what you think personally of this update in the comments below. If you disagree with me, just feel free to let me know without, I don't know, bashing me in the comments too hard. And I hope you guys have a good one.